If you've learned a little bit about astrology, you probably know that your third house is the house of communication. But I think of this as one of those mixed bag houses where there's a lot more to it than that. In this video, we're going to look at 3 things that you need to know about the third house and why the last one might have a huge impact on your family. Number 1, I feel like we have to start with the obvious. Your third house covers your communication style, obviously. This is the manner in which you speak and write in order to get your point across and share your ideas. But sometimes we don't think of the other part of this, which is how we use our voice. And no, not just the words we say, but are we speaking up or are we speaking at all? If we have something important to say, are we letting it out? So is there something that is blocking you from speaking your truth in some area of your life? And if so, what is it? When we investigate our third house, sure, it is kind of fun to see, are we kind of more prone to be a chatterbox or are we a little more shy? But it is insightful when we analyze our third house and ask ourselves if we're using our voice to communicate our authentic self or if we're keeping it bottled up. Our website, thehappymystic.com, has an entire article series based on the third house through each sign. And there's also a free third house reflection worksheet you can download. And the link to where you find those will be in the description. Number 2, when reading online about the third house in astrology, this is the one thing that I think gets neglected the most. And it has to do with communication, but it's not speaking. It's listening. Whether or not you're a good listener or you are an interrupter, that is in the third house for sure. But thinking bigger picture than that, when I think about where in a chart can pinpoint a person's outlook on life, sure, first I'll look to their first house ascendant, but also the third house can shed a lot of light on this because there's a lot more to listening than just hearing the words people say. It can be like a listening filter that other people's words have to pass through before they reach your brain. And that affects what you hear. For instance, when you hear other people talk, do you tend to hear how other people feel or do you fixate more on the facts? How you listen can play a huge part in how you interact with others and even how you experience day-to-day life. And if you love learning about astrology as much as I do, please consider subscribing because I'm a small channel and it'd really mean a lot to me. And number 3, at the beginning of this video, I described the third house as a kind of mixed bag house. And that's because it describes speaking and it describes writing and listening, but it also covers siblings and cousins, non-parental relatives. And I know sometimes when I'm thinking about the third house, I kind of let those parts slip under the radar. But it really is important when it comes to family dynamics, especially if you have siblings or close non-parental relatives that you're close to. And have you ever taken a minute or 2 to consider your relationship with them? I know I haven't, but it'd probably be a good idea. Does there seem to be a lot of competition there? Or is everybody pretty much laid back? Are you super close and comfortable with one another and there's not much tension? Or does it seem like one drama after another? These are all third house questions. And thinking about what your chart has to say when it comes to family dynamics may help you recognize patterns of behavior that you may not have recognized otherwise. But of course, your third house is only one part of the puzzle. And to learn what 3 of the most vital points in your chart might be, check out this next video. So have a great day and take care.